500 years ago, for unknown reasons, there was a large-scale fantasy-themed online game called Magic Domain Odyssey which began to merge with the human world, as a result of which many demons from the underworld invaded the human world, and caused humanity to retreat due to attacks. Those blessed by the god of light gain access to gaming professions, becoming professionals in using in-game skills to fight. Many heroes defeated as a result of that war, but the Demon King Asmodeus still could not be defeated. So that the Demon King Asmodeus could be defeated, the humanity sent the strongest assassin named Mo Bei, he who no longer walks in the shadows of darkness. It seemed like Asmodeus only considered the assassin to be a small problem, like a rat, and would soon lose to him in one attack. It seemed like Mo Bei thought it was true, that he wouldn't survive this fight, but at least he could make up for to defeat together. Mo Bei is preparing to attack. Now he is activating the Radiant Moon Domain skill, a skill that can turn day into night, where users who are exposed to light from the moon will get a buff. Demon King Asmodeus was very angry, because the assassin underestimated him. He immediately attacked Mo Bei. With strong power, Asmodeus released a dark wave right in front of Mo Bei, a sudden attack that was released quickly and could be fired from a long distance. However, Mo Bei managed to avoid the dark wave attack. It can be seen that he used the Shadow Clone Assassin technique. For him, Asmodeus' attack was still too slow, so he could use the clone to quickly surround his opponent. Even arrogant demon kings still have weak points, so Mo Bei immediately used the Shadow Clone technique to surround and attack Asmodeus at the same time. Asmodeus, who saw Mo Bei's attack, immediately reacted and would not remain silent. He immediately gathered dark energy to counter or block Mo Bei's attack. But suddenly an unexpected event happened. He was now behind Asmodeus, and soon attacked the Demon King from behind. Even this cheap technique could trick the Demon King. Mo Bei immediately took out his dagger and attacked the Demon King with a backstab technique. Then he used the Merciful Release technique, a technique for attacking using full power quickly, which only has a 1% chance of destroying the enemy instantly. It looks like the attack is still not successful, because the chance of critical rate is only 3%. Asmodeus also awakens blood demons to follow him to fight. Apparently it is a skeleton summon skill. It can be seen that the skeletons were successfully summoned by the Demon King, where they were all prepared to immediately attack Mo Bei. Because the 1% chance of defeating with Merciful Release has not been triggered, he will try another method. All the skeletons were defeated by Mo Bei at high speed, so that the skeletons did not have time to see his movements. Because the skeletons were useless, Asmodeus was very angry. Demon King Asmodeus activates the Restrained Combat mode, a mode where the Demon King releases the seal that restrains his true power and reveals the Demon King's true form. His friend SS-Class Elisa, Andre, and Park Buki could only watch Mo Bei's final act. Finally, the Demon King reached combat mode. Mo Bei forced him to use Restrained Combat mode, and now the assassin will defeated. It looks like he is jumping towards the moon. For him now everyone hopes for him. Even if he had to disappear, Mo Bei would ensure that the Demon King would return to the abyss. In front of the moon he attacked the Demon King Asmodeus with 1,000 piercing sword attacks. The skeletons were hit by Mo Bei's 1,000 piercing swords. Then Mo Bei with his final attack on Asmodeus will bring humanity to win this battle. He immediately released his final skill, namely the Lunar Moonblade, and ensured that the Demon King would disappear from here. Asmodeus was hit by the final moon blade attack from Mo Bei. Asmodeus lost, and admitted that Mo Bei was the strong and calmest human he had ever met. Then Mo Bei ended it with a lunar eclipse blade attack, Twilight Harvest, until the mountain split. Park Buki will always remember the sacrifice of Mo Bei for his services to the peace of humanity. Elisa could only lament her sadness over Mo Bei's sacrifice. This should be enough. To protect the people he loves, he must use all his strength. And now Mo Bei hopes for them to defeat all the remaining demons, because he has successfully defeated the Demon King Asmodeus. 5 years later in Blood River Purgatory, a place where the Demon King was reborn with a second memory of his previous life. These are Horned Demon, the weakest demon in all their ranks. They say that the Demon King will be reborn in 9 days, but they didn't want the Demon King to rise again. But a strange creature appeared behind them. A weak creature that looked like a demon appeared from the surface of the water. The creature was also confused about his existence. It looks like they have 2 existences. It seems one is King Asmodeus, and a human. They were also chased by a horned demon. It seemed the human was Mo Bei. For Asmodeus, this human used cunning methods to reincarnate with him. But this side of Asmodeus seemed to be angry because a weak demon like Horn had dared to attack him. At this time, Mo Bei explains that now Asmodeus is no longer the strongest demon because now he is weak. The two of them seemed to be arguing with each other, because each of them had too high egos as the strongest of their race. Not long after, they were trapped by a magic, and the best way to get out of this magic was for each of them to work together. They finally worked together, that Asmodeus would give his body to Mo Bei so he could use the skills to get out of this magic. They finally joined forces. Mo Bei had to do this because this could prevent the Demon King from rising again so he could protect humanity. They used the Shadow Escape skill, a special skill for assassins by turning their bodies into shadows to escape from the fight. The Horned Demon were confused by what they saw in front of them. After 3 hours they managed to escape, but because the lack of magic power had shortened the shadow escape distance, so now they were still not safe. They finally came out of hiding, and the Horned Demon started to appear again. It seemed that they were very skilled at escaping. That was because previously Mo Bei was an assassin. Then Mo Bei looked up at the sky, that it was now a blue moon. It seemed like he was planning something. According to his analysis, the blue moon can be called an awakened moon, so when the blue moon rises that is when the demon can act freely. But when the moon turns red it becomes a cruel moon, and the demons become restless, then their strength increases to 20%. The red moon can slowly disappear, and turn into a yellow sleeping moon. At that time the demons will fall into a sleepy state which makes their strength weaken. According to experience, each moon phase lasts up to 4 hours, so safety and survival issues must be resolved before the sleeping moon. Mo Bei was holding a stone, and it seemed like the function of his assassin skill was still working in the game panel. Mo Bei wants the nearest supplies he can find, but Asmodeus asks for his body back because he will be looking for the oasis himself. It seemed like Mo Bei rejected that because it wasn't a good idea. They began to climb towards a high cliff. This place Blood River is very dangerous, so Asmodeus wants to guide the body so they can quickly find a safe place. 2.5 hours have passed, and the effects of the cruel moon are still continuing, and this could endanger their survival. They wanted to go to the oasis, but the effects of the cruel moon made these demons strong and restless. They are in a dangerous situation, because these demons have enough strength to finish off a group of weak demons. It turned out that one of the demons was heading towards them. They are chased by the dangerous demon, and are seen trying to avoid all the attacks. It turns out that the demon also attack each other. Because of the cruel moon effect they have twice the strength. There is no point in them remaining here, because their current situation is very disadvantageous. According to Mo Bei, these demons really like to fight because they want to prove they are the strongest, but Asmodeus countered Mo Bei's argument with humans who like to run away from danger. While they were arguing, from afar they saw a shadow leopard running towards them. It turns out that the shadow leopards weren't chasing them, but they were shadow leopards being chased by a group of infernal bulls. Infernal bulls are a talented race, so it is rare for demons to find trouble with infernal bulls, because their attacks are very strong, but for Mo Bei danger can be an opportunity. In his profession as an assassin, his only goal is to hunt and defeat prey, but for Asmodeus those words are crazy to use in the current situation. They were quickly able to avoid all the ramming from the infernal bull with shadow escape, so they were out of threat. Finally they survived the danger of the infernal bull, and Asmodeus appreciated Mo Bei's performance. Now they will collect some fruits near the oasis. There is a method to quickly level up. They have to hurry before the moon changes. But Mo Bei held back for that, so he could take advantage of the previous fight. It turned out that Mo Bei was repaying what this infernal bull had done to him. For Asmodeus it was very disgusting. As a result of these opportunities, they experience increases in experience points, levels, and gain new skills. The danger had not disappeared before them. Now a group of shadow leopards appeared, and now it was time for Asmodeus to act. Finally the shadow leopards started attacking them simultaneously. However, Mo Bei still took over this body. It seems he managed to avoid the attack with his malice perception skill. After using the malice perfection skill, he ended by attacking the shadow leopard using the backstab skill. The attack from the shadow leopard was also successfully avoided with the empty step skill. All new skills don't change the same because of different bodies. As long as Mo Bei still gains enough experience, he will return to his prime. They began to face all these monsters one by one, with perception signs. They dodged upwards with empty steps, so they could find an opening to attack. Then activates dissolution, sacrificing 20% of one's own health for a significant increase in attack power. Finally they were able to finish off one shadow leopard. It seemed that these monsters were a little afraid of them and slowly backed away. It seemed like they had succeeded in intimidating all the shadow leopards, making the monsters a little afraid of them. They attacked again quickly, but it seemed their attacks were still weak. It doesn't seem that they are too weak, these monsters are still under the effect of the cruel moon, and are getting stronger. They were really in danger now, so they immediately activated the Malice Perfection skill. They had no choice but to dodge the attack. It seemed they had failed to dodge the attack, and had taken quite a bit of damage. This body had regained some strength, and it seemed like the pain from it had counteracted the effects of the month of sleep. Seeing that Mo Bei was in danger, Asmodeus gave him a skill so that his body could survive this incident. Asmodeus gave the Demon Evolution skill to Mo Bei, a demon evolution that can heal wounds and increase resistance to the sleeping moon. Asmodeus told Mo Bei to act quickly by using the skills given to him. Deep in the realm of consciousness, Asmodeus seemed to be planning something for Mo Bei to immediately activate the power he gave him, so that he could return to the peak of glory. Their attacks seemed to have failed to hit the enemy. After carrying out the attack, they were shocked by the sudden attack from the monster. They tried to dodge, but the attacks from the monster kept coming, which finally made them hit by the attack. Finally, because the situation was desperate, Mo Bei was forced to use the skills given to him by the Demon King Asmodeus. He immediately activated the Demon Evolution skill. When he used this skill, a dark aura enveloped them. Finally, after using the Demon Evolution skill, Mo Bei transformed into a new Demon King, and now his strength is strong enough to fight all these monsters. Another sudden attack from behind came from the Shadow Leopard at him. Amazingly, he managed to overcome the sudden attack easily and without experiencing any difficulties at all. Then immediately finished off the Shadow Leopard with rapid slashes and successive intensity. Seeing what the new Demon King had done, the monsters tried to escape from that place. But with fast movements, he was able to finish off all the shadow leopards with a lightning attack that lasted only a split second. And now for him to reclaim his treasure and restore his power, then defeated humanity. Seen elsewhere, someone is purifying the Demon King's treasure vault. It seems there are demons who admire the power of someone who can use high-level magic. She is a Manhwa human, a woman who comes from an unknown guild. The demon was named Halle Zentis, and it looked like they were working together on something. When the mage tried to catch the demon, it looked like what she was doing failed. The demon tried to explain to Manhwa that the magic circle would not work on her or the Demon King. But suddenly she felt that the alert magic had been triggered. It can be seen from a distance that someone is trying to come to that place. Which turns out that the new Demon King, then now he has restored his power with eternal flames. Mo Bei finally woke up from losing consciousness during the demon transformation. Now he was under the realm of consciousness, chained and unable to move. There Asmodeus asked for Mo Bei's opinion regarding the current situation, by looking at something in front of them. When he saw the magic symbol, he was immediately shocked and asked Asmodeus not to approach it. But suddenly a golden light came to cover them from below. It turned out that they had been hit by someone's magic circle, and they still didn't know who had done this to them. Asmodeus immediately challenged the human who had done this to him, but it seemed like Mo Bei knew this. Those who had done this turned out to be Manhwa and Zentis. She was quite surprised that the Demon King could be trapped with this weak magic. Mo Bei looked shocked when he saw her, and it seemed like he knew the woman. They seemed to be interrogating the Demon King. Now Mo Bei and Asmodeus, who are united in their bodies, are unable to move at all because of this magic. It turns out that Mo Bei's guess was correct, that the woman's name was Myling, and he thought that she had betrayed humanity because she had cooperated with the demon. Zentis refused to obey the Demon King Asmodeus for a reason, that now she wanted the treasure to be open not for him purpose, but to be open to present it to her mother. Finally he found out that Halle Zentis betrayed him at this time. Finally it seems like they made a deal to get out of this situation. Here the cooperation that Asmodeus wants is to eliminate all the traitors in front of them. Mo Bei, who heard the same goal as him, finally worked together for this. Finally they will start to show their true power soon. A dark energy force with an evil aura came out of the person, causing a large explosion of aura energy. Finally they had managed to get out of the magic's grip, and now Mo Bei took this body. In fact at this time they could face the magic and demons at the same time, but at this time they chose to run away first. But what is certain that human mage Li Meiling has collaborated with demon Hale Zentus.